The LISP network consists of a number of components. The EIDs, endpoint identifiers, which are the IP address or MAC addresses of the hosts. The XTRs, tunnel routers that come in the form of an ITR or an ETR depending on the flow of traffic. These are the first hop devices where the endpoints connect to. The RLOC, the routing locators, is just another way of saying an interface for a router or switch. The RLOCs are the interface that are located on the XTR devices. The LISP control plane is the mapping database that holds the location and identity of the endpoint. This is known as the RLOC to EID mapping. In its simplest form, the mapping system, which consists of a map server and map resolver, needs to know where the endpoints are currently connected to. It creates a mapping in its database, and this mapping is between the host's endpoint ID and the corresponding RLOC, which is the RLOC to EID mapping. The tunnel routers do not need to hold information for all remote endpoints. Only its local endpoints, which it registers with the mapping system using a map register message. As a result, the tunnel routers do not need to hold a large routing table for every single remote destination. It only needs to know about its local endpoints that it holds in a map cache. For any remote destinations that are not held in a map cache, the tunnel router queries their mapping system to get the RLOC to EID mapping. Once the mapping system is in place and configured, the first hop edge device, the XTR, needs to find out where a particular destination is located. If the information is not in its local cache, it sends a query to the LISP mapping system. This query is known as a map request message. If the mapping system holds the RLOC to EID mapping in its database, it will reply to the query with an EID to RLOC mapping. If the mapping system does not hold this mapping in its database, it will send a map request message to the remote tunnel router to get the required information. If the remote tunnel router knows this information locally, it will respond directly to the ITR with a map reply message. Once all the control plane functions are set up, the device can start forwarding between each other without the use of the LISP mapping system.